Elf Eladrin. I'm just having fun today, Seto. And these motherfuckers.
I'm motherfucker number one. My name is Mike. I play Steve, the Furblog Druid.
Motherfucker number two. My name is Zoe. I play Walden, the Warforged Barbarian.
I am motherfucking number three, Joey Crack, aka Jorg, the Goliath Barbarian.
And we are led by the intrepid fatherfucker, Sajeje.
Oh,
The,
that was
the,
weird.
Fatherfucker.
it's a
Just
famo. It's just to
complete
make it
rhythm
different.
fuck up. Just
It's just, she's above. I don't know. I got nothing. It was worth a shot. So that failed. That's good in the moment feedback that didn't hurt my feelings.
It's all right. For the record, I do eat pussy, but like, it's all right.
Like a
Cheating ain't
champ.
cheating.
we have to start trending to not getting him banned.
You know,
We
like
have to
I just
trend in that direction.
Eventually,
Can't help it, Playboy. Can't help it.
there's this fuck around and find out pie chart that they've been going around the internet, and we'll find out
Zoe,
eventually.
Zoe, I think I have said much worse than that. So if we haven't gotten
Right?
him banned yet, I think we're okay.
Yeah, you
Thanks.
know what? I can't deny that. Can't
yeah,
deny that.
we've had some antics.
Speaking of
Anyway,
messed up stuff, I will let the DM set the stage in the moment.
hi. My name's Sage. I am the DM of The Hills Have Bones. A epic campaign of goblin slaughter and troll mockery. Um, Last time we finished up the second chapter, the introduction of the forest, where Steve and Seto are from and live. However, having taken up the strides of adventure, they've noticed goings on both around the coast and in their hometown that don't seem right, and the mayors of both town have quested you all as a merry gang of adventurers to investigate the ruins of skeletal massive titans. However, the village had been raided twice now, once the library and then again at night. It seemed to you that maybe they were testing, maybe they were seeing if there was a weakness within, but all you have now been able to tell, having woken up the next day um, and escorted the messenger from the oh gosh, it's my wrong.
You
Hold on,
fine.
bear with me. I'm gonna write the spelling in the chat so that you all have it. But yeah, okay. So the messenger, after having been shot and healed by the druids of this settlement, the rogue was able to help you look for both Ferus and Auntie Grin. However, no sign of them nor Lacree has appeared yet.
God.
However, you were able to find both Jackie and Ohid. They still remain, and the librarian um, chairman Buke is also aiding you in your current adventure to see what's happening and why these events are unfolding. We restart the game. It's been about 24, 48 hours, and you can find no sign of Ferus, Auntie Grin, or Lacree. Um, Glenn and I think it was Len or something.
Glenn. Glenn and Glenn.
Ben and Glenn. Uh-huh.
Ben and Glenn.
Ben and
Ben.
Glenn. There we go. Cool. Ben and Glenn have been housing the rogue Gruta, who was the messenger from the desert. The desert is called Hanka. And that's the spelling. Hanka.
Honka.
So Buke is able to tell you a few things about Hanka. She tells you that it's an oasis-based settlement that is inlaid into a massive, like a ravine of sandstone. They've been able to carve into this incredibly fragile rock, and they just carve back recedingly into it, widening the ravine as the centuries go, and also accessing the oasis. They pile sand further up as they build into this soft rock, and have ended up creating this pathway of valley of desert city. Hanka is known for its fabrics. It's known for its wealth and richness. It's an incredibly merchant based city, and normally there are regular routes to the other continent. So I'll just load up the overall map of Schroden, which is the continent. So Lemore is the continent to the northeast. And Hanka on your map is the settlement near the lake in the desert in the middle.
Oh, okay.
So one of the things that
old map.
it is an old map. We'll decorate it.
It was not made in the past week.
Was not made in the past week. Nope, it was made many weeks ago.
The news has got to travel for a bit.
You know.
Oh yes.
As it embiggens itself. Yeah, so Hanka is also borders the Dying Lands. Now Walden is probably already aware of this, and it's likely why they're hesitant to attack anyone that doesn't attack them first, regardless of how they look. But the desert Hanka treats the Dying Lands residents differently to the Druidic Forest and Circle. Most of the reason for this is that the people of the Dying Lands, the goblins and orcs, have no problem spreading blight to trees, and because they infect the trees wherever they settle, to make them dry and use their wood for temporary shields and weaponry. It's an idealistic clash to the Druidic settlement here. So they, in Greywell, which is the name of this Druidic settlement that I've just refound. Yeah, so Greywell has an idealistic clash with Dying Lands. However, the desert is far more focused on money usually. However, there is also another side of finance that it takes advantage of. Being a massive flowing city of an oasis has attracted many religious cults that worship life coming out of the rock. So yeah, that's just Buke talks to you about that. O'Heed says that he's been sending all of the guards he can spare, the city guards, to try and track down what may have happened around that hole, any information they can find on what kind of magic that could be. And he's also tried to plug any tunneling systems that they've been able to locate. A familiar name is mentioned to you of Martha, that she'll be arriving in town within the next week to help with the geological structures of tunneling, and that's part of her artificery magic. That's her specialization. So yeah, she'll be coming in a little bit.
Real quick question.
Yes?
Sorry to interrupt. In regards to Hanka, I woke up in the desert. Did I spend time there before I left to head to the town where we started?
Okay, so from what I envisioned that you hadn't found the main city.
Okay. That makes sense with what I was thinking as well. Because I was in because I didn't know a lot still. So I woke up in a pretty small place, kind of, out in the desert.
My envisionment of what your characters kind of gone through pre coming here, and if I'm wrong, please do correct me, is that when they woke up, are you laughing because I'm high? Because you're a prick.
No, because you said pre-coming.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh my god.
He's laughing because he's high.
He's laughing because he's high. Okay, cool. Yeah, so my idea of the situation was that um the way that the sandstone around Hanka is means that many old micro settlements before the main oasis that have been abandoned slowly start to erode or be buried. Now, you were buried in a micro settlement for a long, long time. However, the eroding of the sandstone brought you and the settlement to the surface. And when you awoke, you're in an abandoned, half covered in sand, relic like settlement. You had no idea when you turned off and you remember this settlement being lively. You then start wondering, you follow things that seem like mirages, but you never truly find the Oasis City. And then I think of Hanukkah being slightly younger than you, actually, to be fair. Some of it isn't, but some of it is. Because of just of the way how they build it, how they go up, and how they've widened the ravine. They've become like this bustling thing the last couple of centuries compared to like, like thousands. So does that sound about right? Or is
that does fit with what I was thinking? I think maybe the one adjustment is that like I spent maybe max a month in a small kind of like not like almost like frontier town, like really out in this, like really disconnected from civilization, just kind of surviving on their own in the desert kind of situation.
Yeah.
I definitely spent a bit of time in a place like that and then moved on.
There's settlements that are between the borders of a lot of these places. So you'd probably spend some time at like a successful micro settlement, and then you'd probably move from smaller settlements till you found the coast. Like maybe you're trying to understand the shape of the continent or something, like see what's changed. Okay. But yeah, there would be places that you'd be able to settle before coming there. Yeah, like maybe like what, 2 months, 3 months before.
Yeah, something in that time frame.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Good to be on the same page. Fantastic. Yeah. So we start in Ben's bar, and you are surrounded by the elders of the village that are left after the attack. There are a couple of patrons. So people are slightly trying to like not let loose, but they're trying to not have the formality of the last couple of days of searching, finding nothing, plugging up holes, so on and so forth. They're trying to let that calm down. They're also trying to sweet talk Gruta, the rogue that was shot with an arrow, as she is still very, annoyed that she was shot. She's only a messenger. And then Ben and Glenn seem to be having a family catch up.
Fucking sorry. Don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah,
Messenger needs to be more competent. She showed to an invasion and ran to the side of the invader. That's a fact.
I think at the very least, Seto needs to start more confrontations with a freeze, put your hands in the air before we do anything else.
Well, this motherfucker is now winter, so you screwed.
Oh, really? Did you roll winter? You did.
Oh
Bob.
Winter would
hold
have
on.
been like,
all right, so hold on.
Kind of like a
question
horse.
before we get into it.
Yes.
So I see chat tips and it's saying dice rolls. So can I do that for like initiative and all that shit, or is it just like? Can someone explain that to me a little?
Into account.
Yeah, you'd have to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, Jay.
The bits of that are kind of useful though, Joe, is you can send a message directly just to players with the whisper function. So that /W, when you do it, I'm pretty sure it comes with a Yeah, once you type in a letter for the name, it will come up with a name for who you're trying to directly tell, and you can
That
do it. And yeah,
cool.
exactly
Okay,
that,
okay.
Steve. Exactly that. You can do it
No,
to
no, no,
players
totally
and
cool.
the DM. So if you need to do something to me or the other players without me knowing, the whisper function great. Anyway, yes.
Got it.
And it is around 2 p.m. You have eaten, you are refreshed, you are fully rested, but currently, you don't have any leads on further attacks or exactly what hit. Um, so yeah.
Yeah. The Seto got his rest, but he's been helping clean the bodies out.
Yeah, fair.
Continuing my my kind of what I mentioned at the very end of the last session. I'm sticking with Gruta and kind of like keeping an eye and making sure that nothing else happens to them.
Okay, yeah.
I'm likely surveying the town to see what the fuck went down.
Okay.
And everything.
And I'm just gonna stick with Seto to make sure nothing happens again because we're both on the same page.
Okay. So Weldon, Gruta starts off relatively cold towards you. However, definitely warmer than she is to Seto. And she finds you hard to believe. Not that she doesn't think you're real, but that it's been so long since she's not recognized a model of the Warforged units that the desert has. That she's very she's confused. She's what like there aren't many of the units. They're mostly held within the more religious side of the society. Like they do defense and morality correction, and you do seem to have that personality, which she finds comforting. So she does like start to warm up to you fairly quickly. But she is almost in disbelief about your model and registration being quite so ancient. Steve, you have been trying to work out the village and survey it a little. One of the things that you notice is that the crops that have been taking less this year, like the seeds aren't taking as well, they're not germinating as well. There's just a lower yield of all around. Those do seem to be the places that have tunnels under. However, you can't work out how to find the ones that are under buildings. And Seto is managed very well by Jorg, who keeps him in check.
I'm sorry. How many days has this been since?
So it's so you got up really early in the morning. You rested the very next day. Sorry, not the very next day. The day of that morning, you woke up in the afternoon to help the village with the bodies and all of that's pretty much clear by now. The rogue Gruta, you kind of healed her wounds and calmed her down as best you could and tried to convince her it wasn't a diplomatic issue. And people have been sending out messengers to the local settlements to try and help them rebuild any of the defenses and stuff like that. So it's now been 24 hours since the invasion, and it's the morning of the day after.
Okay. Can I say that in either yesterday or today or however many times that I could have done it, that I cast the spell on the crops?
Okay.
To permanently make them grow better for 1 year.
Okay, so you spend the 24 hours doing that. Cool. If there are any other spells or one-day activities that you guys are aware of that you can do, I am going to allow one activity per person. So Steve, yes, I will allow that you spend all of your spell slots of that rest doing a plant growth around the village for the crops. One of the things, what I'm going to say for it, one of the things you notice is because of the tunneling, those places need deeper soil. So you actually use your mold earth as well to rebuild under the fields so that you fill in these tunnels slightly. You're able to find these tunnels and you can fill them a little bit, but the main thing is that you're able to kind of reestablish these crops and help them grow again. So your neighbors' fields are starting to look a little bit better, but the ones in the village are definitely now looking a bit more healthy. Hopefully they'll be able to overwinter well. Oh, by the way, as I'm mentioning, we're in late autumn.
Okay.
So we've just had the major harvests have finished. And some of this will be talked about in a minute, but yeah, so we've just had the major harvest finished. We're in late autumn. But you set up the plants and crops to start overwintering. Yes.
Gotcha. So about with the amount that I'm able to do that, how effective is that versus like the total crop yield of the town? Because I could do half. What did you say? Half a mile radius every 8 hours.
Yeah. So I would say you would be able to, you can pick, but you would be able to sort out either the northern east farming settlements that you had that goblin attack in earlier, a few sessions ago, that district, or the southwest district, which is more focused on druidic herbs than crops.
Which one is my neighbors in? That's the southwest?
Northeast.
Northeast. I will focus on that one.
Okay, in that case, yeah, that's fine. The food crops are looking much better. You're able to enrich them. You, however, will be enriching them for the year to come because we've just had the major harvest. But the late things like the squashes, you'll be getting double yields from the winter crops. But there's much less crops right now. And that's part of why you were in the coastal village, is because we've just had our major yearly yield and we're going to the various villages to sell that. Yes. All making sense?
Okay. Thank you.
Nice. Cool. Jorg, is there anything you would like to do with that 24 hours?
Are there any shops nearby that sell? I'm trying to think. Is there anything that I would need?
You want to pick up my armor?
I can pick up your armor if you'd like me to.
Please pick up my armor.
I will take your armor. How about that?
Thank you.
I will take any suggestions. Is there anything that anyone recommends that I do? Because right now I'm kind of drawing a blank.
Maybe read as many books as you can with your glaive.
Read as many books as I can with the glaive. You know what? That's actually a great idea.
I'm into it.
Okay. Like here, Steve, or in like a library? What do you recommend?
I would try to read as much stuff in that library as you could.
Especially whatever's left of the restricted section, yeah.
Yeah, well then you know what? That sounds like the plan. I'm gonna go to the library and try to get into the restricted section to see if we can learn something. Did I cut out?
Oh no, well, I heard you.
We got you.
Okay, I'm just making sure. No one said nothing, so I'm like, oh fuck, did I just say all that for nothing?
No, I think that was a silent agreement of, yeah, that sounds good. Like,
no, all good, all good.
No
all
notes, good. No notes.
Never mind me. Never mind me.
No, mind you, I mind. I can't.
You did well.
You did well, young one.
To piggyback off that, the armor that I just received is what? Just so I could update my character sheet with that.
What?
Because he picked up the armor that I bought. It was a heavy leather or something.
Oh,
I don't remember what it was.
I think we said studded leather, right, for a druid. Yeah, we did. I'm gonna say that you yeah. So the library was the bit for me. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you jog with your glaive, head to the library, and Buke actually recognizes your glaive. She didn't recognize it until you got it out and started using it in front of her, but she does recognize it. She knows that it belongs. She starts to tell you its history a little, and she says that it belonged to another before that she didn't personally meet, but was heavily revered for setting up the coastal village with a couple of other like-minded people, a mixture of people who were able to help financially keep the settlement afloat whilst also maintaining a self-sustaining mentality. So it's actually a very important relic to the town, and she does ask you where you got it.
Oh, you guys have to remind me, because I remember I did get it a while ago, but I don't remember where I grabbed it from.
It was in the pit with the huge sword, if I remember correctly.
The glaive?
Oh, that's right.
No, the glaive of languages was given to you by don't fail
me now. The lady.
No, it was the mayor from
what? The mayor was a lady.
Yeah, as payment, because that's the same place I got my monocle.
It was, yeah. You all got gifts.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm remembering that way because that was like the first time we used it.
Yeah, you got that pouch of seeds.
That was
Don't worry,
Winton.
I'm kind of slow, and I was like,
dude.
oh yeah,
Winton, Mayor Winton.
It is weird that he has it, or had it rather.
Yeah, you guys never really asked where it came from. You just took it.
It's a fantasy world.
You know what I mean?
People
it's like, thank you very much.
Weird things.
You know.
We're gonna have to go back and ask him.
We don't need to go back.
That's a while away. I don't know if it's.
Can we just call him on the phone?
I don't know if those maps are still around.
Where we're gonna go back and visit places for mundane information.
I don't like that. I'm sorry.
I get the feeling that like we'll go back and he'll just be gone. Like he'll just be like vanished and be like, dude, did he ever exist?
I swear to God, Seto's creating another fault line.
Oh my God.
Mayor Winton's middle name was
okay, but yeah. So sorry, Jorg. What do you? So with this new refreshed memory, what do you answer Buke, the chairman of the library?
Well, I'll just let them know that I received it as a quote-unquote gift that has been helping us along our journey from said person. And we've come to find it has really good uses on the journey.
She's interested. She asks if it's Mayor Winton, you know, having heard that it was gifted by the mayor. And she starts to say how the last person she was aware to be able to wield and understand the tongues like messages that were coming from the glaive was also a very strong and tall person. And they start just kind of wandering off in their thoughts, and they start to look for a book. And the book they come on back with is a history of traveling. It's from the perspective of understanding the roads of the region and understanding the types of people that appear on the roads, the types of settlements that you can find off the roads, And it's just about how to go around Schroden. And she starts flicking through to the very back where there is an index of legends, and she starts to study hard the little words, and she asks for your help understanding one very specific word in this index. Do you help her with the glaive?
Yes.
Okay. As you press the glaive and you scroll down to the word that you agree beforehand looked unreadable, you uncover that this word is Wakefield.
It's what?
Wakefield.
Wakefield. Okay.
Interesting.
Dun, dun, dun.
So she then puts the book down and looks you in the eye and says, "Are you sure that's what it said?"
Positive.
She pauses and once again gets up and starts to search for another book. This time, she uncovers something that looks very dusty and is bound.
The hell was that?
It's a fucking motorbike. Yeah, it's a fucking motorbike.
No, that was the sound
I
of
don't
the
know
plot
what that
being
was.
uncovered.
The plot being uncovered. Yeah, so she comes back with this dusty leather and bone bound hardcovered book. And it's very old. It's clearly very old. Like, it was made to last as well. These pages are incredibly thick. They're almost like parchmented card. And she brings it to the table and it leaves a heavy and dusty thud as it hits.
Oh, shit.
Oh, for fuck's sake. And as she does this, she starts to rub the dust off the cover, and I fucking hate you. And on the book, once again, she asks you to read the word on the book with your glaive.
I touched the book with the glaive.
Okay. And as you do so, reading across the glaives, what would that be? Like the spine of the glaive, that's what that end of the knife is. And reading across, it also says Wakefield. And as she opens it, the entire book is in similar characters to whatever this is. And she tells you that no one has ever been able to read this because this is a lost language, but that she knows that this contains some kind of mythos about the lands that were greener than they are now, but that's all that's ever been left in the glossaries and index for the library. So because they didn't have the information anymore, they just had the book. But you're able to find this with Buke's help.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She believes that this is the place that the glaive was made. So that's that. What would Zoe like to do for? What would Walden like to do for the 24 hours?
Oh, that's a good question. So Steve has helped kind of rebuild in terms of like the fields and nature and whatnot. Are there any like residences or buildings or anything like that need repairing?
Yeah, so towards the east entrance, there's probably the most damage. Most of the branch highways above were relatively unharmed. There's a couple of torn tents, but that's nothing that a couple of hours sewing won't fix. However, there is a little bit of a rubble problem from where they broke in at the east boundary of the settlement. Towards the east, unlike a lot of the foresty surrounding, there's a relatively large wall that it seems like was obliterated. And you wonder, because around the forest there doesn't seem to be that many village boundary guards. Like, one of the ideals of the druid settlement is that people can come and go, but they have to make, they tend to be sure of who comes in, but people can come and go. They're not holding anyone hostage. There's no kind of like, you have to come out of this gate system. They just like to be sure that there aren't humanoids spreading blight into the settlement. So that's really more their concern. Now, the east gate is more like a ceremonial gate, and they seem to have completely, obliterated it. Roll me investigation.
Okay.
Walden. Yeah.
19.
19, fantastic.
Nice.
As you help them move the rubble, because that's, you want to help them rebuild. That's really why you came here. But you can't help but wonder, like, why would they have come through this particular part? And as you do it, you start to realize most of it is actually scorched with a very similar magic to what Bolt didn't seem to be able to use before, when you went to fend off his specific, raid party. So this scorched magic seems to be on a lot of the broken boulders and bricks that make this large ceremonial gate. Although the buildings have small amounts of damage, because most of them are trees, the repair is using old bark and cleaning it and just putting the old bark on, gluing it with small amounts of latex rubber that's still like sap form, and letting the tree heal itself and not have a risk of disease coming in. So people are really handling that quite well. But yeah, from what you can tell, this looks like an intentional display to come and knock down this specific gate. And they did a good job. Like, it's fucked.
Okay. Well,
Seto, is that everything, or?
I mean, I was trying to see if there's anything else I could think of, but no, I think that should be about it.
Okay. Seto, is there anything you would like to do in this 24 hours?
Yeah. Seto is healing people.
Okay, yeah.
So he's like going through triage, but like absolutely ignoring the entire section that the messenger was at. But not in a way that's like, oh, I better not go over there, but in a way that's like, nah, fuck that bitch.
Wow.
Like, you don't understand how he sees it.
What a response to crippling someone.
What a response.
Like, I get it, but like, damn.
Winter does not give a shit, but he loves this town. The Seto loves this town.
Oh, you might not be Winter then, because that was technically.
Just to make sure. Yeah, it's rough. Like,
it's rough, but it is what it is.
Like, deep down, he feels bad about what he does, and he's protecting himself, and that's what the dice is telling me by being Winter. But yeah, he heals people, but he heals like the town and stuff. Like, he's got a few spell slots. He does the thing.
This motherfucker.
He just helps around town. Like, it's important. He loves this place, and just because he shot some fucking stranger doesn't mean the village still doesn't need him. You know what I mean? So he heals what he loves, and yeah, he'll deal with that when it's time to deal with that. That's how he feels about it.
Sweet.
Like, awesome.
What I'm gonna say, one, I'm gonna give you all an inspiration point, because I feel like you went and did things that really suited the characters you're trying to portray. So, first of all, I think that's fair.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
It means
you can use it to get advantage on a roll.
Yeah,
you can say
spot on your sheet that says inspiration. You click it, and it'll give you a little spot thing. And
like, gives me a sunrise.
Yeah, that, and then you click that, and then you're like, oh, use my inspiration. No, I don't have it. But now you know you have it.
How do I use that?
Whenever you want.
So, yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know how to
roll,
physically
you can
use
it to get advantage.
So I have to click on that and then a roll?
Yeah, so what you'll do is you'll roll for advantage how you normally would, but that little thing on the character sheet is just to remind you you have it.
Oh, ignore that.
That's okay.
Okay, say it again.
So when you feel like you want advantage for a skill check or an attack roll or anything really, anything where you can impose advantage, you can say, I want to use my inspiration. You have 1 point currently, and then you just roll with advantage how you normally would. So you just roll twice, and then that's the use of that 1 point of inspiration.
So it's just like one free advantage.
Essentially, yeah.
Gotcha.
And generally, DMs give it out for people portraying the characters that they're trying to do well. Like the better you inspiring the people around you to do better. So anyway.
Awesome.
So that, and also the things previously. Oh, also Ohid. What was I gonna do with that? Sorry, hold on. It's not on this page. Yeah, so Ohid leaves. So we kick off from the 2 p.m. We've had a little conversation about Martha coming and things like that. Ohid leaves pretty quickly as he's got quite a few guard duties and guardsmen out there trying to find all the tunnels, trying to do what they can around the town. And Jackie seems to be quite enamored by Buke. Ben and Glenn are chatting away, having a family catch up. And everything has calmed down, but what I'll do is I'll just to help you guys out a little bit, I'll just refresh. There was a village that Seto uncovered in the library when you first came, of satyrs that had a relation to his parents, and their god that they worshipped was called Pan. Mike, with Steve, I'm not 100% sure what you'd like to do going forward, but your bottle of everlasting cuttings, you've noticed recently, has started to like glow at different times. And you're getting different colors at different times of day. And there's the desert in Hanka, and the Wakefield is where your glaive is from, Joe. So just to refresh over some of the things that people were looking for. And also the ruins, the massive Titan giant ruins that are all across the continent. There is also those that you don't currently know where the other ones are in this area.
Okay. I'm gonna pay attention to that more going forward.
Thank you.
I don't know what I'm doing that.
Okay. If you have anything in mind, do DM me about it. But otherwise, that's what's happening right now. Hold on, you did the. Oh, sorry. Am I? Is there? I don't. What would you like to do?
Well,
is that a waffle? Well, Settle's eating a waffle.
Okay, is that a waffle? I'm gonna eat that waffle. You know what? Eat that waffle.
So things are calming down here, and Guta's about to head back to God, the name.
Hanka.
Hanka.
Yeah. So Gruta isn't about to head off for Hanka. Gruta and Ben are waiting for 2 other messengers to arrive.
Right. Okay, there is a thing. That's right. There's a thing happening here.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. I should probably remind you of that. There is the summit that will be happening in 3 days.
Okay. 3 days. I guess I'm gonna try to get more information about the summit from Gruta.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you do talk to her. What do you say?
This is the first that I've heard of this particular summit, and I've been in the settlement for a while now. Can you tell me more about what's going on here and how important this is?
Oh, well, I suppose it's not super public knowledge when we start to plan these things. They're deeply political. We don't really like oversharing information before all things have actually happened, because obviously if we let everyone know exactly where a load of important leaders are, that's not going to go well, unless we have good stuff going on. So we send out messengers like me and Ben over there, who I've met before, just to scope out the new plan. The summit should be in a couple of days. But the problem is, if we can't find Auntie Grin, I don't know how I'll be able to take back the information I need. Like, Auntie Grin's meant to sign my traveling papers to show that I've done what I'm telling people I'm doing. Like, if I don't come back with my traveling papers signed, how are they going to know, like, have I even bothered? Like, and she seems really flustered. Ben comes over though to, because he overhears that you're talking about his job, and he comes to see what's going on as well. All of you are here, by the way. You're all
right.
Here.
Nice.
What is the importance of this summit? If it doesn't happen, what could go wrong?
Basically, as I don't know if, and she pauses, looking at like your incredibly antique at this stage format, and shakes her head and tries to think maybe it's just a home build. And she says, well, this is the thing, right? After each yield, we have celebrations, we have festivals. The coast has just had one. That means that's the last for this year. We're coming through now. All of them are finished to take messengers back, checking on the settlements, seeing who's having a lot of success, seeing who might need help, just taking down errands and things. Like, the desert takes on a lot of the major concerns of the continent. Like, it's pretty much the capital. So my job's really important. I'm taking messages back from these settlements to check they're all okay. And if I don't have the signature for the settlement, how can I claim it's okay when no one from the desert has seen?
Right.
There's an official seal as well that I need from Auntie Grin. And without that, there's no way I could even begin to pretend that somebody else's signature matters. Without the seal, I don't know.
Well, I find it unlikely that Auntie Grin left with this seal. It may be at her home right now. In terms of finding her personally, be a little bit more of an arduous task.
Well, I know that the guard is working hard with Buke over here and Jackie to try and understand what's happened, but until we've got answers about their whereabouts, I need to at least she looks at the sky out the window of the bar, and she sees, that it's coming on to late afternoon. And she says to you, at this rate, I've probably got about a day and a half left before I need to set off for the coast. The summit here is in 3 days, so I should be able to get there and back within 3 days. If I set off now, I was just, I'm passing through trying to get what I can from when I can. I came a bit early here. I thought maybe I'd be able to. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I can go to the coast for now. And I can come back in 3 days for the summit. The messengers should all meet here because this is the last place that had yields. And she looks
if
very
Auntie
frustrated.
Grin is here by the time the summit starts, will the other issues be eliminated?
Honestly, yeah. The major concern now, for me at least, isn't so, like, hear me out. I know that technically there are still some people here that will be able to access Auntie Grin's things. Now, I'm not dodging around an artificer's locked box. That's for them. But I can wait. I can do some. I can go to the coast for a bit. But this summit needs her. Without Auntie Grin's seal and without Auntie Grin's presence, we won't be able to say that this village is somewhere we can trust. This has been a political nightmare from start to finish. And she starts rubbing her temples and looks really stressed. Ben rubs her shoulder and tries to cheer her up. I don't know if that makes you feel any type of way, because obviously Ben does have the same cheeks as Glenn. But but yeah, he's giving her a bit more attention, and trying to calm her down a bit. But from what you can gather, and from some of the stuff that you've seen during the festival at the coast, and the time of year, it's late autumn. It seems like what she's trying to talk about is the idea of like a summit of councils where they all understand what's happening, what aid needs to happen in the continent, but it also helps them record the outgoings and economy of different settlements as well. So because this is so druidic based, this specific village, it means all of the herbs have like a seal of like a certification, like it's coming, these herbs, these medicinal products that come out of this village, because Auntie Grin's seal is there, they have a certification of authenticity. Whereas if she doesn't seal and say that things are fine, they don't have someone that they can politically trust that these medicines aren't harmful. So like there's like a complex system that's gone a little awry with Auntie Grin going missing.
Okay. Well, it seems like we have 3 days to attempt to find her. We have an approximate last known sighting, and I'll look to the rest of the party. Do you believe that we are able to complete this task?
I think we could easily do this task.
Nice.
All right.
Granny Grin was a wiry old fuck. She's smarter than she always let on, so it'd be fair to say, and he says as he finishes the waffle, if she doesn't want to be found, it'll be harder to find her than you think. And as for tackling an artificer's lockbox, why do you think she has such a lockbox to begin with?
What are you talking about?
I'm saying I'm the reason for the lockbox. I can probably get into it.
Why would you advertise to a stranger you're a thief?
She's not a stranger.
And you shot me?
Yeah, I did.
If the lockbox was created for you, then how are you certain that you would be able to beat it?
Because I'm better than I used to be.
a fair observation.
A flex.
All right. We are on the clock, so we should finish up as soon as possible and get started.
But if you want to try your way first, I won't be arguing. Just letting you know there's a plan B for, if it really, really needs to happen.
Thankfully, the lockbox does not need to be located beyond where we know it is. We don't have to find it in the same way, so we can save that for the last minute if necessary.
Aye. Are you going to eat those sausages? There, are those?
And as you grab over to what I assume is Jorg's sausages, considering the placement. Jorg, how do you take it?
Someone else,
right? Like, I don't know. It's yours now. So you might have to get
Jorg, are they your sausages?
You see him reaching.
You know
for
what?
sausage.
They are mine, but I will give him one.
Oh, you're a kind one. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's the noise Olkanashi makes when he does the hungry caterpillar.
Hungry caterpillar.
But yeah. But to that effect, we can at least search our office for notes. Maybe there's something there that we can see to, that's out in the open. I won't snoop, but if we need to find her, we need information. Unless...
Yeah. Do you want to head to the library? Or
Let's do it.
Go where she last went? Library?
Oh, where's Granny Grin's? Is Granny Grin's office in the library?
Office? Yeah, that's no, but that is an option too. Hold on.
Yeah. Cassetto's been there dozens of times. You know what I mean?
Yep. So there was a couple of places you could have gone. That was not the one I betted on, but that's okay. You're there now. Mm-hmm. So you knock on the door. Auntie Grin's one servant, who is ever cranky, opens it. She's more worried than cranky, for sure. She seems more upset than cranky today. But she lets you in. She knows the situation. She knows, especially at least Steve has been trusted with helping out the situation. And so she allows you to go up into Auntie Grin's office. However, she does stand in the doorway trying to at least be aware of what's happening. And so you are in the office.
The first thing Seto says is, don't go poking around here or here, this cupboard, that, whatever that is. I've been here sometimes now, and she's made sure. He just starts pointing at stuff. Whether he's being honest or not is an entirely different thing.
Oh.
He's just fucking around to make people feel like he's...
Like he knows his shit.
Yeah. So yeah, if I gotta roll something, that's fine. I just wanted you to know. He's just like trying to do stuff to make people feel like more secure that he's there. Like he should be there.
Yeah, I'll follow your lead. And
you're the pro here, so we will follow you.
Yeah.
If you need something red with the glaive, you just let us know, or let me know.
I'm gonna be searching primarily on the main desk and the sections within.
Okay. Could you place your tokens in the area you wish to search?
Yeah, I'm definitely.
Just so I can know exactly where you're referring to. It just makes my life a bit easier.
Yeah.
What exactly were we looking for again? I was not sure. I was at that last meeting, so I was only half listening. I'm sorry.
Notes, letters, any sort of information that would say why, she's gone and where she could have went.
I'm gonna go over to this thing with all the letters on it. Because they're letters.
Okay. Jorg, where were you? Sorry.
It's loading. It wouldn't let me move, so I'm reloading.
Oh, okay. If it still doesn't let you, let me know. And No, it's not letting me do that. I'll double check what kind of image it is and all of them.
All right, let me see.
There's two. Can you move either?
Will you let me move, you motherfucker? Holy shit! There's two of me now.
Yeah. Do either of them move?
Took my special power.
The small one does.
The small one does. Okay. Sorted them. That will work. That will work. Okay, sweet. Could you all roll me investigation, please?
Who out of what's your before any? But well, sorry, specifically Walden. Because I want to give you advantage.
This is a group roll.
A group roll.
This is a group roll because you are all doing the same task together.
All right, then so, never mind.
Well,
so there's already going to be like 4 rolls to see what you get.
Good job, Walden.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just went, these are letters.
We don't need it. Y'all should have took it.
I'm not going to lie, that nearly was a perfect 27, 27, 20.
I know.
And that's really nice. Yeah.
Way to fuck it up,
anyway.
Would have been cool.
55, but it totals to 55.
55? No, it doesn't.
Yeah. 14 and
70 something.
No, wait, what?
No.
2 sevens, a 20 and a 21.
The animal handling didn't count.
No. Oh, I didn't even see that. That's dope. Okay, never mind.
My roll was ass. I'm so sorry, guys.
Your roll was not ass. You're fine. Okay.
My roll was butt cheeks.
It was. Oh, I have a grid for this now. Hold on. Right. Sweet. So Steve and Jorg, no, you do not see anything in these areas that you consider potentially something about Auntie Grin could have been. But that means that you have now spent about 8 hours looking through things you don't quite understand. Jorg, you didn't think to use the glaive in the end, just because of the roll. You're looking and you just put it to one side and you're looking at these words you don't get, and the glaive's right there, and some people might even notice what's happened, but you certainly don't. Steve, really similar situation. Wow. For some reason, you go to open books, but it just feels like dead tree. It don't feel good. You don't like it. But Walden, you are finding a good knack for this, and Seto, you too. And so as a group, you are able to uncover Auntie Grin seems like a bit of a legend, a bit of a lad, because there's some information here that definitely hints that although it was Feyris that went out adventuring, Auntie Grin has had her fair share of experiences, some of them even sordid, as you look through her personal belongings. Now, Walden, you are able to uncover that she had been intensely trying to work out who Brad Langford was, the man that she mentioned before that had gone to the library 10 years ago and had been trying to get into the library for what seemed like almost 100 years. Seto, you are also able to find this information. However, the two of you working together, you notice that there's a page that's been ripped out of this book. She's circled things that don't seem relevant, and then a page has been turned out, ripped out of this book.
Well, with the page ripped out, there's really not a lot we can learn to.
What's the page after it say? Is it like a new chapter, or does it have any like continuing information? Because by taking out one page, never mind.
Can I get a little more context?
Yeah. Okay. So thinking of a way to do it. Can you give me both intelligence rolls? Probably just straight rolls.
Boo.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that makes sense.
Okay.
Damn.
Do you show that to us?
So Seto stares, literally will not take his eyes off of where the page has been ripped out. He keeps just meticulously trying to understand the different bumps of the tear. How was this paper torn? Was it in a hurry? Was it meticulously torn out as you are peering now at its tear left behind? You have an existential crisis about the void halfway through. However, Walden, you start looking at the circled words and information on the page before that has been ripped out, and you start noticing that this could actually be a code.
Ooh. Do I have any insight on what the code is? Just that there is one.
Is it based on how many ridges are on the way the paper's torn?
We can look at that later.
It's got to mean something.
So, do you tell anyone else what you found?
Yeah. I'll point out the potential code to people and see how they're feeling about it.
I will help him look at the code and maybe decipher it with my brain.
Doesn't the little stabby stick do the deciphering for us? You know.
I don't think so, but sure, give it a shot.
I don't know if that would work. It's not like another language.
Isn't it though?
It technically is.
No.
It's a secret.
Only one way to find
language.
out. We can try.
Right? It's hey. But I'm fairly sure the ridges on this page mean something. Gotta start role playing my failures better. They are copious.
Hold on. I'm gonna type it out because I think it'd be easier to type it out and then you guys can see it visually rather than me say what the words are. So the words are circled as whole words, and so I put them in brackets to make it, easy to see which ones are circled.
We're gonna have to use our real brain.
You're gonna have to use your real brains. Yeah, you are.
But my character's smarter than me.
Yeah, well, you'll have to roll good then.
Like something Jeopardy music.
There you
go. Okay.
So
any others noted keen arrivals?
So this is circled out on prose like information. So these aren't just alone. These are just the words that are circled on, and this is what you've found.
No. It says that.
Have any others noted keen arrivals? And this is in Granny Grin's book on her desk?
Yeah, so she's been looking into Brad Langford. She's been looking into people that have come in and out the library. Like I think a few sessions ago, she said about there'd been someone that had been trying to enter the library. They didn't have a pass for a long time, and then all of a sudden they got one from the desert, and the name that they most recently gave was Brad Langford. And this is circled before the page was ripped out. It does actually. Could you give me all a perception check? Because nobody did.
Perception check.
Yes, please.
Perception, you got it.
Yes, please.
Shit.
thought to roll better here.
That's okay.
I'm gonna be pissed.
There's the pendulum.
Oh, it doth swing.
Oh,
For fuck's sakes!
So from what you notice, it doesn't seem unsettled compared to the last time you came. So you don't think anyone else has been in here, like, doing this kind of snooping. Like, you feel like it's undisturbed. Just as a level of context.
Are there any other books around that?
Anything else that we could potentially? We're getting information about this Brad guy, but we're not really getting information about where. Actually, you know what? Because the Lich guy was called Brad, so if this is the same Brad, I'm assuming it is. Then maybe Auntie Grin chased after him to try to take him down. But that doesn't really help us on where she went.
Just a level of context that I feel might have been forgotten. Brad took Auntie Grin and Lucree with him out of the room you were in that you'd been transported to. So he took them out of that space, and Faerus was left in that space. You guys didn't help her come out. So from what you understand, they could be together, like you're not sure, but at least minimum there are two people that are definitely with Brad currently.
And Brad said that he came from the desert.
The entries in the access to the library say so, yes.
Oh,
Maybe we go to the desert? We don't really have another, like...
Well, there's a whole other town around here, evidently. And while, you know, it's basically home to a cult, it could have answers, and it's a place we haven't been. Who knows? It's just something I'm interested in and wanted to speak up on before we took off.
It might have connections to what we're doing. It's hard to say.
That's the thing. You don't know what you don't know, do you?
Right. We don't really have a definitive path forward.
We have 3 days. So we have a day and a half travel outside of the village at best, in hopes to find her, and then I come back and I see what I can do about that beast over there. And he points to this chest. That's the one, if I remember correctly, that's the one that she opened when getting the thing that was all crazy booby trapping that dope shit.
Yes, that is exactly the one.
Because that beast right there is chock full of the goodness. Damn near made me eye explode looking at it. And I want it. Right. But that's not what we're doing here, and that's more of a if Granny's okay kind of deal.
Right. Where's the cult town on the map?
They did show someplace on the map. I don't think it was too far, was it?
Hold on. If it's on the way,
yeah, like if it's on the, that's kind of what I was hoping for.
To it. Yeah.
So, just to, because you've seen the map, just to outline some of the geography of the area. There's the town, which is called Paith, which is the village of satyrs that I've mentioned About setting.
Yes.
There's that one. The village that takes 1.5 days to get to is by the lake. That's still by the forest.
All right.
So it's kind of like between the coast and the lake. It's an encampment kind of place. They're slightly nomadic. They go around the lake depending on the season.
Fair.
So in winter they prefer to be closer to the forest because it keeps the worst of the frost away. Whereas in summer they go closer to the mountains to have like a cool breeze by the lake shore. So they live nomadically in a circle around the lake as the years go by.
Nice.
That's the place that's a day and a half trek from here. However, Paith is a different place to that.
Okay.
Paith you would know about. The nomadic village you know of as locals. And actually, Jorg, you would know of the nomadic lake peoples as when they come during the summer seasons, they start to border around the territories your old farm used to be close to.
Okay.
And they're called. Let me just type it on the chat. Hold on.
Do your thing. Ain't no rush.
Ain't none to it, but
Right.
to do it.
So that's Reputa.
Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby.
I will actually no nomadic peoples. But the lake. There you go. So that's so there's
nomadic peoples of the lake. Got it.
Okay. So yeah, so you've got your lead from Antigrin's office in these words. There's Paith also for the record is spelled like that.
Oh, I thought it was a TH. Okay.
No, yeah.
Very British. I respect it.
I would have an apostrophe on the E, but
Parfait.
I don't know how Paith.
Paith.
Yeah.
Okay. It really just comes down to what is the most likely direction that Antigrin was taken, because we only have the one shot. We can only go to one place.
You're not
so wrong. How are we feeling?
I mean,
well, I'll tell you right now, the place that's a day and a half away, that gives us no time to look for Antigrin. We have to go there and then turn around.
Yeah,
so
we have to be.
That's
correct.
Unfortunately not really an option.
No. But all right, we can try a fair bit of tracking, go to where they were, and find out if we can. Maybe I know you can be speaking with animals and plants and such. Maybe we can find a way to.
That would probably be my best bet. Go back there and see if we can do some tracking or something.
We have no information. Start where we lost them. So
although it's maybe lost at this point.
I mean, who knows what plants are there? Maybe moss is chatty. I really don't know how it works.
Right. So do we want to go? Do we want to check out the hole that we went into?
I mean, that hole I don't think exists anymore.
It doesn't now? Was it just like completely gone when we left?
It was when you came out of it, yes.
Okay.
But you could still go there.
Yeah, let's try to find that, because there was like a whole fucking storehouse in that place.
We can spend a little bit of time looking for that, and then we can go to... So Reputa was the day and a half away, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we can try to look for the hole a little bit today. If we can't find it, then we head to Paith. That's how I'm feeling.
Yeah, man.
There's not a lot of options. Let's hope we find something from the fucking plants and animals. You know what I mean? Because there's really
before
not a
we
lot.
leave this place, I'd like to look in the cellar because I don't think any of us has put a head down there yet.
The cellar, like the rest of the building, rather than just the office.
Yeah, it looks like there's stairs going down from the.
Yeah. This is the uppermost part of the building. This is an office study area that's on its own floor. It's
I
kind
thought
of.
this was like the first floor of her
Oh,
house.
okay. So yeah. For some perspective into the kind of building. So this is built into like a hollowed out tree trunk and then kind of insulated with bricks. Because this is actually quite high up a tree, and it gets quite cold.
So, like, leaving this section of the tree would no longer be her tree section.
So this is actually a balcony. So it's like a little outcut.
This is a balcony, right?
That's a balcony. So it doesn't connect to anything. It's just a balcony. And down here, so down there goes to lower levels of the tree. There's about 3 levels from here.
Lower levels of her part of the tree?
Yes. But this isn't a giant tree. This is quite small, and this is mostly just her and her sister and Martha when she visits. Much like you have your own kind of family tree, most people in the village have their own family tree. They're not the big ones. The big ones are for the community. Those are bored into for only a quarter of the depth and not to the true core. And those are for like the library and like the guard stations and the markets and like the leather working tools and stuff. Like everyone that needs that kind of space gets it, but family trees are a lot smaller and more private.
Gotcha.
And you know, your whole family and your descendants have the right to somewhere in your tree. So it becomes a family tree. There we go.
I mean, I had noticed, so I didn't want to interrupt your
all right, so I guess because we gotta go out this way anyway, right?
Yep.
So I guess we'll go out the way we're supposed to go out, and I'll look for things on the way out and probably not find anything, and then go to the bush and then probably not find anything, and then we'll see what we got.
Okay. I would like to say the puzzle I've given you is insanely simple.
Oh, honey.
Wait, of the puzzle?
I don't know how to deal with it. I
thought we did the puzzle
already. There's like the words, but we don't really have a thing to connect them to right now. It's just kind of like, it's cool. I don't know. I got nothing.
Is keen arrival a thing? Like,
I thought that was the solution. Have any others noted keen arrivals?
Maybe
we look for like a specific person who has noted others.
Is there a name, Keen? Maybe.
You know what? You're going. It's fine. I've got a plan to get you in. Don't worry. Someone's gonna solve.
You sound like Beth anytime I try to help.
I'm confused.
Look, when this happens, look, you'll go.
And now I'm gone.
It's fine. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's gonna be fine. You're back at the bush where the hole was.
The bush.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Let's look at that bush.
Yeah.
With our eyes and ears. Get in that bush.
Trying to find whatever.
The bush.
Okay. Would you like to do anything other than search with your eyes and hands?
I detect magic.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Yeah, I assume you're using your eyeball thing.
With my monocle that looks like
in that case,
frozen leaf.
Can you do me a investigation roll? I believe Steve has it too, so can both of you give me an investigation roll with advantage because of the detect magic, and can you also post the detect magic rules onto the chat so I can double check something?
Alright, you did post the thing. I don't have it because it's not like I have the item, but thank you.
Yep.
With advantage.
With advantage.
And then I'll give you the detect magic.
Sweet.
I'll take 17. Thank you very much.
I don't know if that works the same for his monocle, but that's regular detect magic.
No, that's cool. All I needed to know is the wording about the School of Magic thing. Because I knew it was a thing, but I wasn't sure if it meant class or School of Magic, and it's specifically School of Magic. So that's all I needed to
know. Nice.
And that's all I need to know. Sorry.
Yeah.
Tom Campbell.
Okay, I don't think that's technically how that works. That's fine. So yeah, you rummage in the bush and you look your best, and using your scope and your natural divination, you are able to sense the faint traces of magic. However, this magic does not belong to a school that you are familiar with. It seems more like a warlock evocation. There's definitely a malignant vibe from some kind of tendril like gasping for air that's just faintly there and starting to fade. It's just the touch of something warlock to you. So that's what you find. And the more you look, the more you notice that there seem to be seams to this magic.
What does that mean?
Or something. If only we had like a one of those things where you cut the lines in the vest for the bucket. You know, one of those bad boys, or a scalpel.
What?
Sorry, it's a very specific item.
I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, like a thread cutter, essentially. That's not a scissors.
Yeah, seam ripper.
Yeah, thank you. But what color was it again?
Its color is this deep dark purple, but it's starting to become transparent. But what you kind of see is like a seam that's light. It's got like a luminous to it within the magic, and then around that seam are tendrils trying to keep it closed, and it's just starting to fade away. It's almost gone.
Can we like try to rip it open?
Yes.
I definitely want to do that, or assist if anybody else wants to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would do that.
Walden's reaching his big old hands in.
So what I would say is I would need you all, and I believe all of you probably can actually, make like the magic-y constitution-y roll.
Magic-y constitution roll.
Constitution roll. Okay.
There's a spell check constitution roll thing.
Oh yeah. For
normally for concentration.
Oh, all right. It's a con save. Yeah.
It's a magic-y con save thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, my Constitution saving throw is +8, so I got this.
Sweet. Let's go.
And fuck it, this is important. I'm gonna use
my god! My first good roll.
Nice. I
use my inspiration for that.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
Okay. As well. I don't feel like I can fail this either.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
And it doesn't fucking matter.
It's okay.
Just a regular Constitution save?
Steve. Yes. Yes. Steve, you're ripping as well.
Sure. I fucking do that shit.
I do that shit.
You fucking you do. So I'm gonna go in ascending order. Seto, as you reach towards the tendrils, they burn you. And you only take 2 damage, but you can't get your fingers into this thing without it scorching your hands. Like you are just not able to withstand the almost toxic magic of this area. Let me check. Steve, you are able to withstand it. However, as you try to pry it open, you are aware that you're not quite as able to widen this gap and release what's inside as Jorg and Walden, who managed to open it up enough to reveal an almost coffin-like shape. And in the darkness, something is spat out at you all. You were able to open up enough of the seam to uncover a person, and that person is Pharos.
Whoa.
As you do so, the magic completely dissipates, crawling around and then vanishing into thin air. The seam seems to be completely gone, and all traces of that warlock have been removed. However, Pharos is barely breathing. She's cold. She's choking as she comes out of this seam.
I heal that bitch.
I was just about to say, Steve, can you heal her?
We both do.
Dukin.
My boy.
Okay. Just I need to know, does anyone have restoration or anything like that?
That's not my level.
No.
Even lesser restoration's pretty high level.
No, I'm just checking because I know that Steve may be able to access
I could have got it, but I went with grow plants.
No, that's cool. No, I know that you could have potentially had it, so I'm double checking. Okay, so yes, you are able to heal her body's wounds ever so slightly, but something you do notice is that while that seems to be going fine, she's still very cold. She's trembling, she's sweating, she doesn't seem particularly hurt, and her breathing has slowed down, but she's clearly going through shock.
Okay. I'm gonna
use another heal. Does she need more heal?
Doesn't seem like it's a health issue now. I think there's like a magical effect or something.
I know that. But like, she probably needs more heal.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick her up and bring her into a house.
You're right. Let's bring her to those super druids.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you take her, now you've found Pharos, to the medicinal units towards the south. They are elated to see her face. The whole village is aware of Martha and Pharos. Although not many people are talking about Lacree, they certainly are talking about, sorry, not Martha, Auntie Grin and Pharos. They're talking about that like mad. News has spread and everyone is very much aware by this stage. However, seeing her condition, they instantly rush to her in a very different way. Rather than being overjoyed, they come with panic and coordination as they take her by the shoulders and the hips and instantly transport her into a stretcher where they run at a walking speed, but a very fast pace, towards what you believe to be a small shrine area with water, and they put her body into it's not like a hot spring, it's more like a built-in forestry bathing system. Seto and Steve, you'll be fairly aware of this place. These healing pools are made from rainwater that collects in the tree trunks that were cut down centuries ago. And the resins from the tree trunk hold the water, but they stay completely clean because they're constantly being strained by the working druids. So the water never goes stagnant, but the water is always completely pure. And they lay her in there and they start trying to restore both her body and mind as best they can. And they ask you where she was.
Well,
was in the bush in a warlock seal that looked like a coffin. We had to rip her out with our bare, manly hands.
Seto shows his
and
still
also
hands.
Robot hands.
Constructible
hands.
So as three of you have like no significant signs of any damage, but Seto clearly does. They immediately start putting salves on your wrist and hand. They don't recognize the magic straight away, but eventually, after you've said there was this warlocky thing, they start to think that this could be an evocation effect, and they're able to treat you quite well, and you receive your hit points back.
All 2 of them.
All 2 of them.
Yeah.
So as you wait to hear about Ferris's condition and they come back to you saying she's stabilized and she's ready to talk, you enter the pools, you take off your footwear, you take off your outside jackets, and you lay them in the tree trunk before you go to the stump where the pool is. It's a mark of respect to not bring outside contaminants into the pool, so people expect you to be in as little clothing as practical. No one expects you to be naked, but nobody expects you to be wearing shoes either. So,
but subtle buck nugget.
You can be. I'm not saying they'll judge you. I'm just saying they don't expect it. They prefer it.
Dicks out for Ferris.
Yeah, dicks out for Ferris. So yeah, Ferris sees you dicks out, and having only just recovered from being in a warlock style coffin, isn't sure she needed that. You're muted.
It was just to get like in the water. It's not like he was like, "Hey, look at this." It's just somebody getting into water. He didn't make a big deal out of it. It was more of a respect thing.
It's not like I was face humping her.
Right?
More like a teabag dying lady.
Walden really can't not bring contaminants in, so Walden's not in the room.
Oh, okay.
Just
because I can't really like remove my chassis and like it's metal. Like it's
go in the water,
gonna
instantly
cause
gets
some
that
issues.
oily rainbow thing on top.
Would you like to enter the room?
No, I'll wait until they're feeling until she's feeling better.
Nah.
Okay.
I don't want to
I'll
risk
pass
it. This
on
is
the
this
dick.
is special to them. I'm
Okay.
not gonna
It is a
around.
very special place, though. Okay.
Oh.
What do you ask Ferris?
What happened? You alright? We found you in a hole, a warlocky evocation hole.
All I remember is the second that the last of you went out that door, I was frozen seeing what happened to my sister, and then everything went black, and I'd been choking and coughing ever since, and then I thought I was going to die, and you found me, and I thought I was going to die, and where's my sister?
We're trying to find her. Where was the last thing that you saw her go to? Any idea where she could be?
She, that fucking Bradley. She was going that chimney in that weird room. Is there any signs? Have you found anything?
Only thing we found was in her writings in her book. Any more keen arrivals, or anyone notice any keen arrivals or something like that, right? Scroll up at it.
Have any others noted keen arrivals?
Have any others noted keen arrivals? How was it written?
In a crazy cipher. It was
codes and circles.
Circles? How were they circled? I know my sister's notes.
It was in a book.
Oh, it was circled text?
Yes.
It's spelling something then. What does it say again?
Oh, wait a second.
right. I'm like, let me go back.
Spelling something. Okay.
No,
okay.
Oh, it's fucking
you
Anka.
stupid things. It says Hanka. That was not clear what you were doing.
That was beautifully done. It was right in front of us. I'm not even gonna be mad. Fuck!
Wow.
I just need a second.
We got there. We got there in the end.
I love you all. so very much.
I would have unintentionally been on that route anyways, just with thinking of the desert connection. That's the funniest shit in my mind.
That was literally right in our fucking faces.
I was under the impression the text you had put there was the answer to these circled things. Not that those were the things that was the puzzle.
It was meant to be connected, right? So, like, it's a hint as to what she was looking for, and it's also the place she's most suspicious of.
Yes.
It's both.
Wow. I was one level below you in knowing what the actual puzzle was.
I mean, I knew that the whole time. Seto just has a 10 intelligence.
You know what?
And I'm gonna call that the game for tonight, because that's the normal time frame we go for, and I think this is a good period to that's something memorable. Yeah. We're gonna remember where we are in the game.
We all just Honka.
Yeah, well, you were just So yeah, I think that's a good place to pause it for now.
All right. Well, we have been Vagabond Gaming, and this has been awesome. And Sage is also apparently a saint of patience for just waiting for us to get that, even if she did kind of spoon feed us. Anyway,
it's how it is sometimes.
Son of a bitch.
It's how it is sometimes. It's fine.
You gotta do baby puzzles. It's okay.
This is remember, life happens in every direction, and we just rolled a 1. So
next time maybe it'll be a 20.
I'm gonna roll with this and see what we get next time. Thanks everybody for showing up.